Good evening, good night, good morning to all my listeners. This is your friendly neighborhood producer, Calypso Beats. And today we are now sitting on, I think, what is this, show number 15 today. Today we're out here in Kings Park in Queens. And I got a young man sitting next to me, very talented, new on the scene. And I just hope you guys enjoy this interview. Various Music. What's going on, man?
I'm just chilling, bro. Over here macking with you in Kings Park.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So, give me a little bit of how you started making music early on.
It came from just like chilling back in the day with my homies, like in middle school.
Right.
We had this crew called WTS, like We True Soldiers, and we just sit every day in a pizza shop and just start writing raps and play pool or whatever. Then it was just like, it came to me, I wrote something dope. We all wrote something dope. At that point, they were like a little better than me. So I had something to prove all the time.
Right.
So I was just always going harder.
Like, what are your specialties? What do you think that you're really, really good at? What do you know that you're really, really good at?
Just being myself and just being different.
Right.
I don't even try to be different. I just try to zone out what's being played. And
right.
Just stay in my own zone.
When did you realize that you actually wanted to get into music?
I'm gonna say when I was 18, that's when I really started taking it for real. Like, before it was just like a bunch of basketball and just being at home on the computer.
Right.
Just messing around with Acid Pro and shit.
Right.
But it was just like something fun to do. It wasn't nothing like I was serious about. And then friends would get together and like, oh, we rap, we make beats, but we just like, it was like a joke. It was like an ongoing joke or some shit.
Right. Why was it like a joke though?
Cause like we was all basketball players. It was just like, we put basketball as the first priority and run outside and play ball.
Right.
Then it's like I broke my ankle and shit. And that's when I really stopped going that hard.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ball.
How'd you break your ankle? Playing ball?
Yeah.
Wow. But, you know, funny thing is, that's like Pun. Like, Pun was a bouncer. And I think he got some injury, something happened to him, like his legs or something. And he was up in the hospital, I think, for 6 months, and that's how he gained all that weight. Because he was actually like a brolic dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be a bouncer, and he gained all that weight. And I think while he was in the hospital, he started like writing and all that stuff. And, you know, that's how he became Big Pun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What work have you done that you're really proud of?
I'm very proud of like basically everything I've done from where it started up to now, because I just see the progress. So just like going back and hit anything, I'm proud of all of that.
If you could work with anybody, dead or alive, who would you work with?
I'm gonna say dead, then I'm gonna say alive. Like, I know I got a totally different like rhyme scheme than this person, but this is my top like rapper is Big L.
Oh, okay, Big L. Harlem.
I felt like Big L was like, he's like, I gained like a mentality from him. He's mad different.
Right.
He's not like the average thoughts that you would hear coming out of somebody.
Yeah, Big L is dope, man. Like, I think he didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he did have enough time, he would be knocking people out of.
Yeah, to saying shit like I went to hell for snuffing Jesus.
Right,
like,
right,
that
yeah.
shit blew my mind.
Yeah. One of his favorite lines is, "Ask Beavis, I get nothing but head."
Yeah.
Oh man, like I kind of like miss those days of like sitting up really late and listening to pirated radio and college radio and hearing all those freestyles from like random people that you never would really hear, because at the time, you know, they had underground and then they had, you know, mainstream.
Yeah.
And there was really no room for those underground people, so the only time that they could really come on was like really late at night. And it sort of kind of gave me like this mentality as if like this is like the shit that nobody, you know, wants to puff with.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna puff with this. You know what I mean?
For real.
So it's just really weird. Like, and I think Big L to me is like one of those dudes. I don't know where he would have been at like now if he would have like transitioned over into like mainstream, but where he was at, he was killing the game. You know, all those things. I think Raucous Records came out with them, the Sound Bombing albums. The one that I bought was him. I think it was Big L. Eminem was on it. Common Sense. You know, regular underground people at the time. But that kind of like changed my mentality of where I wanted to go, like as a producer, as a rapper, as a music maker. You know what I mean? So that's Big L. That's one guy.
Yeah.
Is there somebody else?
Then nigga, that's a love. I would say it's Travis Scott, because like I feel like I got the same demeanor.
Right.
Like, I call myself Variuz Music for a reason, because I'm always never on the same page, and this dude is like, he's never on the same page.
Right. I hear that, definitely. Are there any other types of art outside of music that you do?
Yeah, I do videography.
Okay. What do you notice about videography that you can use in your music, or skills in videography that you use in your music, as far as like having a good eye?
Having a good eye is one thing, because you could kind of like envision what you're gonna do in the song before you shoot the video, because you got like that view already.
Right.
And it's at the same time like you could use that view to write raps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Different points of view to write different perspectives of like a song or a story or whatever.
Like sometimes I don't even have a song to like shoot a video to.
Right.
And I just think about shooting videos, you know what I mean? I could see myself like over there in this scene, like doing something dope.
Right.
And just like transition that shit to words. What would I be saying right there? You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy. So like, have you ever done this before? Have you ever like just shot a whole music video and actually scored it? You should try that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
The guys that score movies, you know, like Batman and all these other things, they don't make the music before they see the movie. They're actually looking at the movie and playing the music at the same time. So how long have you been doing videography? Is it longer than music?
Nah, it's like kind of new. I had like a pretty like bum camera, but it took videos and it did what it had to do.
Right.
So I was just like always played around with that shit. The first time I got a video camera, I got it from my pops. It was one of them old camcorders. I took like the actual tapes. And niggas used to like try to copy off a Jackass and like do
Right.
it. Watching them shits, laughing at them, like that's some dope ish. To like actually getting the computer and putting them just together.
Cutting and pasting and moving things around.
Yeah, then I came to the realization like I can make videos.
Wow, that's crazy. So I want to ask you a question about your past. Before this conversation, we actually had another conversation, and you were talking about social media, YouTube, you know, and how that played a role in where you're at right now in your career.
Yeah. I was going hard at one point, just like pumping out tracks, like all the time. I was hungry to get it. I still am. And I had a minor setback because like just like the way I felt about the situation. I got pranked by this dude named Onish Pranks. Thank you, by the way. So he put this shit on the air. Like I put my number on like Craigslist, just like doing everything for exposure, trying to get booked for a show, whatever.
Right.
So I left my number on there. Probably wasn't smart, but I got called on some prank shit. And this dude happens to be like a multi-million subscriber dude on YouTube.
Wow.
It just hit me hard. He told me to rap. Just some wild shit.
Right.
But like, I don't know. At the same time, like I felt about it, but I had a homie just say like, yeah, that's just people hating. All publicity is good publicity. And like roughly, my bad for the language.
Nah, it's all right, because this is a family-oriented show. I'm playing. This is not a family-oriented show. I'm trying to get better with it, but nah, it's fine. So I guess that basically snowballed or propelled you in a way. It gave you a platform to stand on and go higher. I was watching a show on the other day with these jazz musicians. I can't remember what his name is, but I know that Herbie Hancock was on there, which is another jazz musician. great producers. It's like one of these guys that like I follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I idolize, which I don't even like using that word, but like, you know, he's just like one of those dudes. So one of the things that they said was that resistance is necessary.
Yeah.
And he said in order for a plane to take flight, it has to have some resistance, which is called drag. And without that drag, plane can't fly. So everything isn't always going to be smooth.
Yeah.
And you can't expect it to be like that. Like I've been in a position where I would be asking myself, why is my equipment always breaking? Or why isn't my battery or my phone working when I got to take this video? Or why don't I have these plugins or whatever? Or why isn't my computer work? Whatever. But now I look at it as like, oh, that's just resistance.
Yeah.
That shit's supposed to happen. You know?
Facts.
So that's how I look at it all. But you actually use that resistance to propel you to where you are today. You know what I mean? And I think that's the greatest alchemy ever, you know? Because a lot of people might happen to them and they like, you know what, I ain't even cuffing with this shit no more.
Facts.
You know?
Because I'm not going to say, like, I felt that way. But, like, with my homie telling me that, shout out to Ream Production, by the way. That's the homie that told me that. And my homie JJ the Martian also put me on that. But, like, at the end of the day, I felt like giving up, too. But it's like music, that shit is just in my head. Like, I can't stop that shit.
Right.
And I'm not going to let somebody that says something stop me neither.
Right. Or put that light out.
Yeah.
So you basically started like when you was maybe in like high school?
Yeah, you could say that.
It was like high school. So you mentioned that you usually, at that time you were doing music with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point, because right now you're like a solo kind of in a way, right?
Yeah.
So how is it different from being around a lot of people to being on your own? Do you find it more difficult, easy? Like,
I mean, I'm on my own, like, it's cool, like, I can make a beat, I could record to it. The annoying part is getting up and pressing record and going back to your station to rap.
That's why you wish you had two of you, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, I still got people at my disposal. I hit up, like, yo, send me a beat. So it's not, like, totally, like, on your own.
Right. Right.
Life just hit people. It's like people got jobs, people got to be here and there.
Right, and it's not like as if you were in school and you got all the time in the world to do it.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I find like this, like when I was in school, I had mad time to do so much shit. You know what I'm saying? And then like as life progresses and goes on, you start finding that you got less and less time to do the things that you really have a passion to do.
A lot of times I wish like I went harder, but I was like, it happened that way for a reason, because I ain't know like shit I know now.
Right.
Then. So it's like same time it's still a blessing.
Right. What would make a good recording session for you, or what would make a bad recording session for you? If you walked into a studio and like, again, who was in there in his boxes with one sock on, eating Apple Jacks, and he was supposed to be your producer, would you walk out? You know what I'm saying? Or would you be like, all right, I'm gonna deal with you?
I mean, if you got on one sock, you like, where's some pains to cover that shit up? If you eating Apple Jacks, like, dog, fix me a bowl. You know what I'm saying?
That's like a mentality, like you roll with the punches no matter what it is.
I mean, I don't care, like, you can have all this equipment in the world, but is your beats cold? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is this shit frozen? Like, that's what I want to rough with.
Right. Yo, what's the weirdest things that have ever happened while you were making music?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was making these weird ass sound effects, like whistling in the mic and doing like woo woo. And like that shit, I never heard that shit before, and I was just like, this shit is just like we just playing around. Now I hear that shit on the radio all the time. Like one of my mans came up to me and was like, yo, your song on the radio. I'm like, nigga, that's not even me, bro.
What moves do you plan on making for this year?
this year I'm just trying to finish an EP. I'm probably not even gonna put it out for sale, just have it on iTunes. But I'm not really looking towards the sales. I just want it to be like out there on the Spotify. It's really for like exposure and like just getting it out there, basically. And buy it if you want, like download it. I don't care, just listen to it.
One of the groups that well, I don't know if there's still a group or whatever, but like Tyler Creator and his peoples, they don't sell their music. Like their music, you could just go and download it like from the website. But I mean, they make most of their money off of like touring. You know what I mean? And I think for a lot of old school people, they think that everything that they do, and I don't think this is a bad thing. I think everything that you do has value.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, even that whoop whoop on the microphone or whatever, like that has value. Yeah. But at the time, you didn't see it because it's just you in the room. You know what I'm saying? But it has value. But the younger guys now, they'll put their music out for free, and then like let the buzz build, and then put on a show. And for like an older dude, like we just don't think like that. We think that as soon as we do a song, yo, we gotta get the ASCAP, we gotta get this going, we gotta find out the album art and everything, we're gonna put it out, we're gonna get like $10 off of this. And that's as far as we think about it. You know what I mean? And it's because our brain or how we think about those things is a little bit outdated. I try to get like other guys that's like my age or even older to think like, yo, like, everything that you do, you don't necessarily, every song that you do, every beat that you do, you might not necessarily need to have money like in your hand.
Yeah, it's just about being like entrepreneurial.
Right.
Doing like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And if you're looking towards the money, then you're in the music for the wrong things.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I've had discussions with my pops about that. Yeah, I mean, he says to me, he's like, yo, what are you a hippie? Like, and I'm like, nah, I'm not a hippie. But, you know, I don't think that I should be driven, you know, by just making money, because I've spent like maybe like a year with that mindset, trying to sit down and make like 1,000 beats and like, yo, I'm gonna make money, let me get $100 for me, $200 for this. But when I started to relax and just chill, like, and just try to get a vibe from somebody and see how they are, whatever, and they might feel me and they might just be like, yo, here, like, here's 200. Let me get those 3.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the way I'll go about beats, per se, I learned this from like one of the OGs that did something on the YouTube. I forgot his name, but he was just like, if he's selling beats, don't really look to make like nothing crazy, like release them shits. Right. At the end of the day, that song blow up, you're good.
Right.
If you're only trying to, it depends on like who you selling a beat to. If it's somebody like Jay, for instance, and he puts that shit out there, don't charge that nigga a dime, just reap off them.
I feel you. Off of the residuals, or off, you know, I feel that, but I think like some people are a little bit too greedy, and greed takes over, and it causes, like, especially like in music, I think greed takes over and it causes a lot of problems with groups, even with people like a producer and an artist, you know, and saying, oh, I need to get like this % off of this because I did this much and whatever. And I really and truly, I think everybody should be honest. You know what I mean? But
I mean, I could be like, I did this and I did that, but I think cause like most, like I'm coming from nothing. Like if I make $10,000 on one show, like
right,
and the show made like 100, like I'm cool with that.
Right.
I wasn't making that kind of money in a day, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like at that point, it's like that's when you just like grieving all that shit.
Yeah.
And you just like take notes and you do that shit on your own.
Right. Just pay attention to the game and soak it up and then do it on your own.
You can't lead if you don't follow.
I wanted to know your opinion on money from like, money rappers was getting in the 90s, right? Versus money that rappers are getting right now and the amount of work that's being done on their behalf, as opposed like, say LL Cool J. For instance, let's say LL Cool J. He wants to put out a record, right? He's at Def Jam. He does all the work, got all the songs. They got him some producers and whatever. He got to make a music video and all these things. He got all these people to pay. Versus now, a dude like you, like a Renaissance man, you doing video, you doing beats, you doing your own song. Damn, you probably even doing your own album art and covers and all this other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you think is better?
I think it's cool to be like a Renaissance man, but at the same time, you should have a team that's full of Renaissance.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like a team of like people that you're actually like down with. It's not about just percentages all the time, man.
Right.
Shit like that. But like for like people from the old school, like such as LL, I don't really know they deal. I know a lot of them were tied into 360s.
Right.
And that shit makes it like impossible to really make bread.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like I'm not really on that level that I made that much bread.
Right.
So I know, but I know just like off of what we're saying, like I make the beat, I do all of that. Like I'm entitled to more.
Right, because it's yours and you got your footprint is on everything. You know? I think it's a lot harder now because that person or that artist is doing like 4 and 5 jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not, I don't think it's, I was saying to somebody the other day, I think music is a lot more internal than external. And it was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, well, if you look at like the 80s and 90s, had a Jeep, summertime, blasting their music, boom boxes, people was playing music all over the place, mad loud, right? You walk down the street now, and what everybody got? They cell phone, and they got earbuds in their ear. So if I got a dope record, and let's say I'm out here on Jamaica, and I live out here in Jamaica, and I'm blasting that ish every day, and 1,000 motherfuckers walk by my crib, and I'm pumping my joint, how many of them people you think heard it? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody listening. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's, and then also I think it's also how the music is created is very internal, a lot more subtle. The rhyme flows are a lot more, I wouldn't want to say that they're a lot more fast. I think they're just a lot more detailed now because it's just how the music is now. It's different.
And I'm gonna say it's like there's a lot of people that want to rap, and social media made it a way like everyone could be a rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the way I learned to look at it is like that shit passed for a lot of people.
Right.
Like they feel like they could rap this year, and like next year they're not rapping no more. It's
Right.
about who really sticks to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I seen a lot of rappers on Instagram. I've been following them. Years past, like you don't see nothing from them no more.
You don't hear, this is true. Or you don't hear nothing from them anymore. With producers, it's like that too. But I think kind of like, I give producers, because for me, like there was like maybe like a couple years where I didn't really make anything because I didn't feel like it. And I give them that pass, you know what I mean? Like producers is like a little bit different. But like rappers, you know,
But like
producers is out here like throwing beats out like, yo, just take my shit, you know what I'm saying?
For like my subscribers, like, yeah, I could probably be like, yo, you put out songs here and there, like, yeah, you're right. But I put out songs just to let you know, like, I'm still here, like, I'm just cooking.
Right. And it does take time. A lot of people believe that, like rappers should be putting something out like every day, but there are rappers that do put stuff out every day, but they got a team with them.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
For real.
You know what I mean? When you got somebody like handling the beat, somebody doing the recording, somebody uploading the shit.
It's like selling drugs. You could have 10 blocks. Like, it's gonna take you a while to get that money point, but you got the whole neighborhood. Not even the whole neighborhood, like you got the whole Manhattan and like everybody serving on every block.
Right.
Like it's gonna come in faster. That's the difference between having a girlfriend record label and like being independent.
I kind of like this year with the whole Kendrick Lamar. I don't want to say Kendrick Lamar versus Jay-Z, But a lot of people put Jay-Z high up on this pedestal of like, yo, he sold this many. But I'm like, it's the way how he sold it. And it's the same analogy. Like, if you selling drugs, you got like 80 niggas out there just pumping juice through the street. You know what I'm saying? And you just sitting back and chilling. Your money gonna come in way faster than the nigga that's just going mad hard. You know what I'm saying? Like one dude going mad hard. Like, yo, I got it. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense, but a lot of people just don't see it that way. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You're Jamaican, correct?
Facts.
How does your culture help you create the music that you make today?
Like dancehall, reggae, is very similar to hip hop. It comes from struggle.
Right.
It comes from like what you went through. It's like any I grew up in like the city for a long time.
Right.
So like I know the struggle. I've seen the struggle. I've been through the struggle. And like going back home is like it's the same struggle. Like some of our structures out here in the cities are a little bit better. But like at some point these apartments were like they were heatish, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like the same thing as like living in a fucking wood house in Jamaica.
Right. What dancehall artists actually inspire you?
Vibes Cartel. It's like he knows like how every like everyone from the ghetto feel. Like he walked your shoes. Like he's not just somebody that's just saying it to say it. Like
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, he's a real voice.
Do you feel like you want to be like that kind of voice for?
I just want to be a voice for like, I don't know. I just want to be me. I think he was just being him. He was just talking about his experiences and not trying to be like anyone else. That's just like what I go for.
Right. Do you think that there's any age that you will stop wanting to make music or be creative or stop doing video?
Nah, never. Like I say about video games, I'm gonna be 80 years old still trying to play 2K.
Yeah, that's funny because one of my homeboys, he put up a post the other day where he took out his Super Nintendo and was playing, I think he was playing like Mario or like Mario Kart. I'm like, what the fuck is, like, put that shit away, man. That shit all big and gray. You know what I'm saying? That's embarrassing. You take it out in front of your kids and shit. That's horrible, you know? But I was like, I guess he feels that way. And sometimes you just want to be nostalgic, you know, and you want to have those experiences. You know, once again, I had a discussion a couple days ago with somebody, and I always use video games as analogies when I'm talking about like real life and spirituality, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize how much spiritual kind of like lessons are in like simple video games like Super Mario, you know what I'm saying? Like Super Mario got 3 lives, you know what I'm saying?
3 strikes out.
3 strikes you out, you know what I'm saying? You can't keep fucking up, that's number 1. Number 2 is like, you know, you play that game, the way how it's made is that you play it until you beat the board, you know? And I feel like everybody comes down here with a gift, whatever that gift is, whether it be music, whether it be painting, art, or whatever, dancing, whatever. If you don't use that gift, you're gonna come back to this Gulfalunka again to do the same ish all over again, you know? So I feel like that's why like all artists have this desire to really like wanna be great or just create anything because they know that this is what my gift is, this is what my job is, this is what my true job is. Even though I might have a 9 to 5, this is what I came down here to do. So once it's over, I don't ever have to come back here for nothing. And I see that in video games and Super Mario. You ain't never ever gonna win the game.
Facts.
If you don't, you know, get the Princess Peach. You know what I'm saying? Niggas say shit like that. Well, motherfuckers will look at something like that or any video game and think, oh, it's just so simple, and why do they like playing this game or whatever? But it's very serious lessons that I think could be learned in those things. You know what I mean? And really, at the end of the day, it's just coming out of the mind of another human being. It's not special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was nice talking to you and hearing, you know, your perspective. Where can people reach you at if they wanted to contact you or want to do music with you or hear any of your songs?
Word, to contact me, you can hit me up on Instagram. I'm on that a lot. That's Variuz Music or TheBtzTho. Variuz is spelled V-A-R-I-U-Z. The music is spelled M-U-S-I-K. My email, VariuzBeats@hotmail. And like to just hear my music, go to YouTube, just type in Variuz Music, check it out, comment, like, if you're feeling it, hit that subscribe button.
You know we're gonna be waiting on that EP too.
Word.
You got a name for it yet?
It's definitely cooked up.
Well, usually at the end of the show, I like to do like a kind of call and response thing. And I say a word and you tell me what comes to your mind. I usually do like 4 or 5, but sometimes I lose track of counting or whatever. But gatekeeper.
God.
Light.
Hope.
Growth.
Becoming something bigger than what you are already.
Speaker.
Shit, music, man. It's just, I don't care.
That's a dance hall. That's you sitting on a speaker at a dance hall party.
Pure music.
Jamaica.
Just happiness. It's just a place to be. It's the motherland. It's like being in Africa or one of them places.
Okay. Ganesha.
I don't know what that is.
Just say anything.
Shit. A name, female's name.
Could be a female's name. That's actually an Indian god. So this is the end of our show. I'm sitting here.
Because I should know that. Like,
nah, you don't have to know that. I mean,
I'm half Indian, and my name is an Indian name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. That's. I mean, it's life, you know. But the thing is that maybe I said that so that you would do research. And that might take you somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? It might open a door for you or something. If you guys want to hear anything from me, you know, you can hit me at TheBtzTho@gmail.com. Yo, there's rats running around in this park like crazy, yo. So there's rats jumping around. Like, I've never seen so many rats in Jamaica, Queens in my life. Again, like, I thought this feels like the city, like I'm in the city.
For real, this shit was crazy. I'm trying not to see it.
I know. Yo, that's a New Yorker thing. Like, yeah, you try not to see it. If you guys want to hit me up, you can hit me up at TheBtzTho@gmail.com. And you can go to TheBtzTho.com when you want to hear any episodes, or if you want to hear any episodes or the newest episodes from me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and I see you back here next time. Show number 14. Peace.